Imagine checking in to a 5-star hotel in the heart of Oslo. You're elegant, confident, and you give the receptionist a name, Jennifer Fairgate. But here's the thing, that's not your real name. You have almost no luggage, every tag has been removed, and you have no ID. You also have no credit cards, and when they ask for your companion information, you give them the name Lois, but he never shows up. For 3 days, you stay hidden in room 2805, only ordering room service. Then on the 3rd day, a gunshot is heard from your room. Security rushes up, but finds the door locked from the inside, the 2 key cards still on the table, and there you are, dressed beautifully, dead, with the gun still in your hand. Except something doesn't seem right from the beginning. All your clothing labels are gone, the serial number on the gun is scratched off, and there is no gunshot residue found on your hands. No one has any idea who you really are. This is the story of the woman who died in a locked hotel room and was erased from existence. Even today, after 30 years, her real identity remains one of the most disturbing cases in Europe. Did she do it to herself? Was she murdered? Or was it something more sinister, maybe having to do with the CIA? We will look into these different theories and what was left behind. Welcome to Trending Docket. This is Michelle. Please subscribe. It truly does help, and let's get into it. It's late on May 31st, 1995, when she arrived at the upscale Oslo Plaza Hotel, now known as the Radisson Blu Plaza, a sleek high-rise in the heart of Norway's capital. At around 10:20 p.m., a stylish woman in black walks up to the front desk to check in. She looks confident, mid-20s, with short black hair and dressed professionally. She booked a room for 2 nights under the name Jennifer Fairgate, or at least that's what the staff is told. As she is filling out her room card, she misspells her last name twice on the forms as Fairgate, Fergate. She claims that she is 21 years old, writes down a fake address in Belgium on the card, and mentions that her companion, Lois Fairgate, will be joining her. According to the front desk clerk, there was a man that was seen with her briefly at check-in. He had dark hair, but he vanishes shortly after, and no one sees him again. If you have ever stayed in a hotel before, you typically have to give them ID and your credit card. But shockingly, the front desk lets her check in and go up to her room 2805, without providing ID or her credit card to put on file. For the next few days, Jennifer barely leaves the room, except for one day, where she leaves for about 20 hours. She leaves on June 1st because she is gone when the housekeepers enter. Her key card shows her returning on June 2nd at 8:50 a.m. On that same day, there was one other entry into the room at 11:03 a.m., and that would be all the activity in and out of Jennifer's room. She would then hang her "Do Not Disturb" sign before closing the door for the last time. Housekeepers did go in the room the first couple of days to clean and noticed the room was extremely tidy, like no one was staying there. The extra blankets they put in the room for her companion were never touched, so they end up putting them into the closet. On the second day, when she was supposed to be getting ready to check out, Jennifer extends her stay for an extra day. The front desk starts sending her payment notices that flash on the television screen in the room, and someone in the room keeps typing in "okay," but still no one comes down to pay or put a credit card on file. On June 3rd at 7:50 p.m., a young security guard named Espen Ness is sent to check on the room. He knocks on the door, but no one comes. A second later, he hears a loud bang. A single gunshot is heard from inside the room. Shocked, Espen runs back to the front desk to call for help. For an entire 15 minutes, the room is left unattended. When security returns and enters the room, the door is double locked from the inside and shows no forced entry. They also find both of the key cards laying on the table. On the bed lies Jennifer. She is wearing black silk pajama shorts, stockings, and heels. She has a single gunshot wound to the center of her forehead, and the 9mm Browning pistol is resting awkwardly on her chest, with her right hand still gripping it. They also found a test shot made through a pillow into the floor, which no one claims to have heard, and more ammunition was sitting nearby in an attaché case. But if that is not strange enough, buckle up. All her clothing tags were meticulously cut out of her clothes, minus one blazer. That still had its label, René Lazard. They did look more into the blazer with the tag from what I found, but not much came from it, besides it was made in Germany, and they believe she didn't remove the tags because it would have damaged the blazer. She had no wallet, no passport, no toothbrush, and no real items that someone traveling would have with them. In the closet, they found some other clothes, a sleeveless blouse, gray coat, a cotton jumper or sweater, and a long leather jacket. What they didn't find were any extra lower body clothing, things like pants, skirts, or underwear. The room looked staged and way too clean. Minus the half-eaten room service, the mostly empty bottle of men's cologne, and the black attaché case sitting on the table. In the case they found 25 rounds of 9mm ammunition. The police were quick to rule it as her doing it to herself. The door was locked from the inside, gun in hand, and no signs of a struggle. Case closed, right? Not quite. The autopsy raises some red flags. No gunshot residue was found on her hands, including the one holding the gun. The gun position when she was found, just laying on her chest with her hand laying on top, just seemed unnatural, and she had a watch she just changed the battery on just before her trip. This was not just any watch. It was a Citizen Aqualand diving watch. They are typically used by divers, and have also been known to be used by people in the special forces. Years later, isotope and DNA analysis was done and suggested she was 24 years old and likely grew up in Central Europe, possibly Germany. Which would make sense because her blazer with the tag and her bag were both made in Germany. She had excellent dental work and spoke fluent English and German with almost no accent. Yet no missing persons report anywhere in Europe matched her. No family was looking for her. Nothing. She was buried in an unmarked grave in 1996, but was later exhumed in 2016 for more DNA testing. But they are still unable to find out who she was. So who do they believe Jennifer Fairgate might be? Some believe she was exactly who she said, a troubled young woman who wanted to disappear, and someone who took her own life in the most anonymous way possible. But many others, including investigative journalists and former intelligence officers, are pointing to something more sinister. The removed tags, the gun with all the serial numbers removed, and the fake identity to start. She also brought with her minimal belongings, yet had an expensive watch with fresh batteries. The hotel was also known for hosting high-level international meetings. It all comes across as someone who was possibly a spy or a professional operative. Was she on a mission that went wrong? Was Lois her handler who abandoned her? Or was she eliminated and the scene staged to look like a suicide during those 15 unattended minutes? So many questions and very little answers to this day. Nearly 31 years later, the woman in room 2805 still has no name. No one ever claimed her, even though her story has been covered by the press and by many others over the years. She slipped into the hotel and never left alive. What do you think happened in that room? Did she off herself, or was it something far more sinister? Let me know below. I would love to hear what you all think. I personally believe that there is more to it, and that she was someone important that was murdered. Thank you for joining me. If you want to hear more about other cases like this, please subscribe and hit the like button. It helps my small channel grow. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious.